Hello, everyone. It's Katrine and
Seth.
hi. I think it has been a while since we went live, the two of us. And well, when we both are coming on, it's mostly because we have something new to announce or to do or to, I don't know. So, Seth has been working again in the background and also in the front end, much more at this point. And as you know, we have been going heavily into AI and implementation of AI, and also creating, if you're part of our community, the AI Indie Business Hub community or the Indie AI Business Hub community on school, you know that we are actually using AI prompts and custom engineered prompts quite a bit over there already. We also have created a time machine where you turn your one blog post or transcript into 19 content pieces within or under 3 minutes. I use that consistently. And now we are also announcing a new one we are adding to our library of AI tools. And I think this one is specifically for those that are, well, Jackie named it so nicely today, content hoarders. I am a content hoarder. I,
Confess,
I'm,
Jackie.
yeah,
Confess.
yeah. Oh my goodness. I have two Dropboxes that are completely full. I have two Google Drives that are completely full, almost completely full, the second one. Um, I have my folders, I have a backup drive, and I think if you're watching this video, you probably can relate somehow. And now, with the help of AI, of course, we have many more possibilities to go through these endless documents we have. And especially as I think course takers, aromatherapists, research papers, GCMS reports, all of these ones, we basically know in the back of our head we have them somewhere. But where are they? What is in them? How can I use them in my daily business? And that's basically what Seth has created now for everyone who's interested in it. Now, this tool is not free, and it's going to be one of the most luxurious tools probably you can have in your toolbox, but an absolute time saver. And also, all of the course content we have had, all of the resources we have collected, they are not for nothing anymore. So Seth has our QA version out and ready to demonstrate. And the QA version, what I mean by that is it's still in quality and assurance control, meaning I'm still needing to vet it a little bit more before it goes live. But the suggested date to go live is on November 1st. And I think we will get it ready. What do you think, Seth?
I'm really excited about this one. I think this is going to help a lot of people just because of it. It's Jackie is not the only one. Katrine's not the only one. You should say.
Roxandra is not the only one. I just actually
Yeah.
posted something online is like, how many documents do you have and how many can you actually access? And someone said in our community, 99.8% they are not being accessed anymore because they are somewhere in the graveyard of computer.
And that's a loss. So you went to school, you learned all these things, you saved your documents, and somewhere in there. So just to give you like a reference point. Once upon a time, I worked for the Boeing company, and there was these long shelves of all these documents that somebody saved for some reason, and nobody ever looked at them. And back then, it was just impossible. You would talk to another engineer, and you would say, "Where's the thing?" And you go, "I don't know. I guess we're going to have to invent it all over again." So it's a sad loss because the human mind cannot do what we can do today. And I'm going to describe that a little bit just because I'm excited and I can't help myself. So, but I'd like to show you a demo first. Is now a good time, Schnicky?
Yes, there is a good time right now. Let me just. Oh, you need to be presenting. You can present, right, on your side?
Yeah, let me click the button and do picture in picture. No, is that the one?
Yeah, that's
Settings,
perfect. Uh-huh. That
present,
is,
share screen,
let me see if that works.
window, entire
I
screen.
can
Let's
hear
do that.
you definitely hitting the computer.
Yeah,
I
okay.
can't see you. Oh, now I can see the window. Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
great. So, you probably noticed from previous videos, I have difficulty operating a mouse and talking at the same time.
I can do the talking. We discovered that actually. That
Okay,
that was very cute, Seth. But thanks for admitting it.
I,
So
I,
can
I
you
admit
just
it full
repeat that
well.
one more time? Can you say it one more time?
No, I confess once and no more.
But
Um,
it was mumbled.
yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend that I'm not talking to anybody and just kind of walk through the screen here.
You know what? I think I'm gonna take us out of the screen because I think we might take too much space, and I just gonna put on the screen itself. Or maybe you have to do that? Like this. Now, try it out.
Okay. I can't see what you're doing, but let me see.
No, you're good. It's
Okay,
just the full screen now. We are not part of it, so I want the entire screen to just show up. That's it.
got it. Okay, so the thing that you have to pay for, which exists only for certain special people at the moment, is this new chat bot. Um, and when you first get in, you'll see a cute little bird and what would you like to get done today? So um, basically, you can upload files here and you can see a whole bunch of files and you can delete them and just get through them in multiple ways to say
Is that
these are
your
the,
folder? Yeah, that's your folder. So I
yeah,
I just uploaded a whole bunch of documents as well, which are research papers. I had over 70 research papers sitting, but I'm not sure if they're already up.
yeah. Okay, so when one of the test things that I'm using is a GCMS report on ANIS. Right.
Can you explain quickly? By the way, guys, that drove me absolutely nuts. He was focusing heavily on GCMS reports. I'm like, use my data. I have so much more, but he kept on using GCMS reports. Can you just explain quickly why?
Yeah, because it's most germane to anybody that's using Blend precisely as an aromatherapist. It would be similar if you're primarily a skincare user, or even if you're just 100% focused on business. It doesn't really matter what the subject is. It pretty much just matters what you're uploading and what you want to review and have easy access to.
Yeah.
Um,
But
I
also,
yeah,
the GCMS reports, what I've thought when I sent them through some of other tools, they were hard to read sometimes and summarize and get the information what I wanted out of them, especially if I want to upload. Let's use just ChatGPT itself. If you want to upload a whole bunch of documents to ChatGPT, it's actually not possible. So ChatGPT allows you to upload a document and that's where you can then reference it and query it, the document. But then after a while, that gets boring because you actually have 900,000 other documents you need the information from. So that's interesting because you can now query GCMS reports, but at the same time, your, let's say, workshop documents, and then you can also give, yeah, you, so you can do work any. It's funny because it's almost a little bit, I have almost like a little bit of a blank because it's for me impossible to think everything I have created already and that it's now available at the fingertips. So basically I can based on everything I've created the past 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, um though I can use now, I can call for GCMS reports. I can say, okay, incorporate my GCMS reports into certain lessons. I can create a masterclass within seconds based on my material. And I think that is the big difference. The hallucination is not happening. And Seth, correct me if I'm wrong or not there. The hallucination of what ChatGPT is still doing is not part of our new tool anymore, correct? It's
uh,
based on the actual documents I uploaded.
Yes and no. So the primary thing that this tool does is it looks at your documents. So it will dutifully go out and grab the data from your documents. But if you ask it to do something a bit beyond that, it will. It will look outside of your documents. So I can demonstrate that just briefly here. Like, for example,
Yeah.
if you
Okay,
were
I'm gonna
to,
take us out again so you can actually see the entire screen.
okay. All right. So if I were to say list all the um, constituents of anise,
Mhm.
is one of the GCMS reports I've uploaded.
Now, bear in mind also that the more documents you have, the longer it will, of course, take a little bit to grab them all. So, what's happening? Can you explain actually what's happening in the back end? Oh, wow. There it is.
Yeah. So it's um, well, let me just show the end result here first,
Yes, sorry.
and just,
I'm like
just,
all over
just
the place.
yeah, I kind
So,
of just want to keep the stream of thought
I'm too
happening.
excited.
Yeah, we're both kind of excited about this one. So it's actually pulling this out of the document, and you can actually click on the document and take a look. Like in this particular one, um, let's find some of the like methyl Gavicle is 1.99%, and see if we can find that one. Methyl charge 1.99%. So it's pulling it out of your GCMS document. And if you look over what I just did in ChatGPT, which is just a generic chat tool, you'll see that you don't get that detail.
Oh,
And
so you put in there, show me the constituents already? I didn't see that.
yeah,
I was
so
Mhm.
that's what I wrote in here. Show me the
Oh,
constituents for NS.
okay.
So it's to do this thing. So the big win here is you're working with your data, your constituents, and you can ask much more accurate, penetrating questions.
Okay,
Um,
can you give me the botanical families now of these ones? Like,
right. So the botanical families are not in the GCMS document. Uh,
no, but I would
so
like to have them because that's, my brain functions still a little bit like that.
family names of each constituent. So it remembers what you did before and what the results were before, and it can add information. This is called AI chaining, if you want to hear some of the lingo. But
So is that a hybrid now?
yeah, so that's the point of this little exercise, is to show you that this information is coming from what things that ChatGPT knows that's not in your documents.
Mhm.
So it's in this is where you, the user of this, have to be a little bit smart about what you want to see. One of the things that we've talked about is to give you control of that, to say only, like, guarantee me, like, everything you're showing me is only coming from the documents I uploaded and nothing from the general ChatGPT. So
Mhm.
sometimes you need to be that careful. Um,
So if you were to say now, if it can group this anise one into a botanical family grouping or a chemical family grouping, and then
Results by botanical uh, family. And then you twiddle your thumbs for a little bit. You'll notice that pretty much anywhere in chat queries, it does. You're going to have to put up with a little bit of wait. It's just because of the name. So
wow, here we go. Okay, hang
isn't
on
that
just a
great?
second. That is so cool. Okay,
That's
so that's
cool.
coming. Yeah, so that's coming from the accuracy of the GCMS document now. So my question, so how I work in my brain, of course, as a content creator in the aromatherapy world, but also in the wellness world and so on, I would ask it next, for example, so great, thank you so much. Um, what kind of what can I do with this right now? Like, let's say I don't know anything about constituents, I don't know anything about botanical families, but can I just literally say, write me a small paragraph about each of these families? And what would happen then?
Let's just see.
Okay, Anis says, okay. Okay, so this is some botanical, each is unique properties and uses includes compounds such as da, 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 da. So it's writing, okay, family including gamma. So from here on out, I can go on and on and on, basically. So that as using it as a what I love about this right now, Seth, is that I can refer back to my data
Yeah.
and probably ask as well. First of all, it opens up immediately the document, and second of all, I can go back to other documents and or incorporate other documents. So if I would want to, for example, create a webinar or a masterclass, I can always go back. It's like, great, now we have Anise. Now let's add, I don't know if you have another GCMS report there, but or another a document, you can basically continue to add and create blog posts. You can create articles, emails. You can create master classes. You can create contents. You can create worksheets. So you can continue to just build out your entire library of content while working with the chatbot and going back to your information. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. And so this, I think one of the fears that people have about AI is it will be so magical that it takes over everything you learned and you yourself will become irrelevant. And unfortunately, and possibly unfortunately, that's not the case. I spend quite a bit of time fighting with AI in general. So, uh, AI in general is a little bit flaky. You have to ask questions in exactly the right way, or to do what Katrina has done in some of our other AI tools, where you go to great lengths to create a prompt. This is so there's a very specific way to ask questions to get accurate answers. And Katrine has pretty much mastered the prompting, which is part of some of the other tools that we have to give you very accurate results. But for most people, if you're not a prompt engineer, you do have to be careful about how you ask the question. So in this particular case, since you're asking questions of your documents, you're getting a pretty accurate result. But you need to use your experience and your intelligence to say, is that true? And how can I use this information? Um, so where it works really, really well is in this last example, which you said, well, just give me a description, write me some copy, and uh, use it as a tool of exploration, um, which you can then take and use your experience and craft, for example, a recipe and say, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know, for example, that um, cloves has like the highest level of eugenol versus everything else. You can ask questions. So if you have all of the essential oils, you can ask that question, like, which one has the most eugenol? It's like, oh, I want to use cloves because I need eugenol for whatever reason. So suddenly this tool becomes an extraordinarily effective tool for giving you a lot of power to help people and to craft things that meet your needs. So that's
So
why we're
can you,
at this.
yeah, so since I just uploaded, and I don't know if that's working, and maybe I uploaded it wrong, maybe, can you just ask the question, can you name me some advantages of lavender? I want to just see if it pulls up my research report. So basically, I put 74 or whatever, almost 80 research reports on. I had sitting somewhere on the back end, in the back end of my library as well. And
Okay. This is an untested experiment, so bear with us if it doesn't work. So, what was the question?
the question was, can you name the advantages of using lavender essential oils? And I'm hoping that it just at least pulls up some of the information. Let me just make this. Some of the lavender is with ER still, like 4
Still,
years later.
I can never spell that right. Don't know why.
You always do the A. Name the advantages of lemon. So what I'm not asking right now is ChatGPT to give me. I'm asking, okay, so down below you see lavender improves sleep. So this one is actually one of my scientific studies I put up there. So lavender essential oils offers advantages, particularly. So okay, I think I uploaded it wrong, Seth. So sorry
Yeah,
about that. But so what I'm trying to do in with my work is basically that I can always reference back to anything that we can support. So customers are often, it's like, well, where's the scientific study or where's any study? And we also know how faulty or falsy scientific studies can be, because there's a lot of peer reviewed studies and so on, so we cannot always 100% rely on them. But in the world of aromatherapy, it's a step more ahead than not having anything at all. So in this case, it's pulling directly the information from these documents, and maybe I can open it up to just see it on my side. But yeah, thank you for doing this. I
yeah.
was just wondering because shortly
So,
before the call, I pulled it up.
all right. I just wanted to interject about the
Sure.
scientific studies. I think you misspoke, but
Oh yeah.
uh, we actually have a few highly credentialed scientists in our club, and one of them is very good about identifying bad science and bad studies and all of that. And I think what Katrin was speaking to is like if you see one study and it's not peer reviewed, it can be completely wrong and completely false based on assumptions or funding or whatever. There's a lot of ways that can go south.
It's like
But
with politics.
or politics, yes. But
Here's
you
everything
know, I,
possible.
I don't think I would agree that peer-reviewed scientific studies, like if you have 100 scientists studying the same thing, going, okay, this is how it is. But I think there was actually a story about how a group of scientists can collaborate to come up with the same answer just because they're all patting each other on the back, which is a problem. Science is a great tool, but there's humans involved, so it can go sideways.
Yeah, there's always with everything with a grain of salt, of course.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, let me just see. I've just pulled it up and it got it from this document here. But
okay, I'm going to stop sharing so you can show that.
yeah, it's not. Where do we go? Here. All right, and then we can also, of course, stop that. So, share screen, and so let me just go over here. Here are all my documents I downloaded, and then this one here is what the reference is, what you just pulled up, basically. And let me just go. Oh no, I don't have it. You have it on your screen.
Hmm.
Um,
I'll,
so
I'll
what
just share
was
the
the
screen again.
answer? Just so lavender, somewhere in this report, there must be the lavender part in there.
Okay. Well,
Um,
I don't want to take up everybody's time trying
yeah,
to find details, but this
yeah,
is we're basically trying to show you the value of this tool being able to rapidly give you insights and information and an ability to make choices that you are not able to do otherwise. It's just overwhelming from a time perspective. So that's kind of what we're about in general with Blend Precisely is we're trying to lower the bar to doing business in particular, to actually remove blocks for you knowing things, to make decisions and move forward. I think in the first month, I think of Katrin using Blend Precisely in its much more basic form. She reported back to me like, I shaved off 4 hours from her time in taking in a new client, coming up with a formula, putting it in a package, and a lot of research. I think that was like the bulk of what you were trying to do, to say, is this what's going to help?
Yeah. Well, I'm always, because as a solo entrepreneur, I'm very focused on systemizing everything. So I'm a big system girl. When it can't be systemized, I'm trying to not touch it. But like content creation, it is something what we have to do. A lot of people actually steer away from it. Same with reading scientific reports, something what we should be doing more, and should get more into GCMS reports, all of that stuff that pains you a little bit. But it's actually the right thing to do for your customers, became a whole lot easier when we came up with this assistant chat now, going back into your documentation, because we did once the study, we had to read the studies, we had to do um, client reports, we need to go back into our, that's one I have actually in my, I have over 500 recipes and formulations, and I partially forget that I have them. But when I remember in the back of my head, it's like, there was something with fungal and something. So I just type in now fungal, and it brings up all of my recipes where I mentioned fungal in. So that was really beautiful to have back. Um, and Donna, just, one more Bijinho, that's kiss out to you. I'm so glad you got the news you have received, and keep on going strong, okay? And yes, GCMS reports are hard to read and understand, and also sometimes interpret. Um, yeah, but basically we forget a lot. So this tool will be able to pull everything back. I have all my skincare formulations, all my aroma hat documents still, so I can put them in there right now, and I can pull back information. I also have a million different courses and memberships I I created and attended, and now I have direct access to everything, and I can work with it, and that is something beautiful to have. So thanks for spending your time, and I know that also the future is a little bit different once we have this up and going. Seth, do you want to talk about just a couple of things for the roadmap ahead in case people are asking or wondering?
Yes, I've been desperate to find time to automate getting information out of GCMS reports, the constituents, and actually putting it into your system so you can visualize them. Since the death of Labaroma, we've gotten many requests from people that are like, can you please get that information in there? And we originally started out as trying to stay in our niche, which is more as a business tool to see prices and safety and that sort of thing. But I think it would be much more helpful for people to actually have ability to see the constituents. It's easy for us to do. I'm about 70% of the way through there. I'm not going to promise a time because Katrin will smack me on the head.
Big time.
But I'm close. So
Yeah.
I really want to get there, and I think it will help you a lot in making it easy for you to make choices and to visualize what's happening in your recipes. So,
Yeah.
and it is what the schools teach, and it is a primary concern, like what are the constituents, which families are there in, which tells you more about what the therapeutic properties you're trying to give to your clients. Or
I'm actually, curious what schools teach in today's days. I haven't, obviously, it's been a while, but if anybody is listening to this, it's like, how do they teach? Do they still teach the chemical families and all of that? I would love to hear that. But can I just go back quickly to Jackie's question? Are you concerned about safety putting all your stuff in there? Stuff in where?
Yeah, so it's the structure, there's a database. It's called a vector database, which is especially designed for working with AI. And so our communication from Blend Precisely is a secure connection to that database. And you, as a user of Blend Precisely, have a dedicated piece of that database that only your documents go to, and it's not mixed with other people's information. So as a tech guy, I can safely say that there's virtually no way for hairs to wires get crossed in that regard. So it's something I'm perpetually paranoid about, and rightfully so. I don't want to share information between users either in the app or in the database or anywhere. So privacy is a strong concern for a lot of people, and I take that to heart, and I'm on top of it. And if you
Is
find
that
anything,
oh, sorry. No, I
if
was just wondering if we are answering Jackie's question with that, if she meant the safety of the documents going into Blend Precisely, because that has been since day one our objective to have it safe and secure, but maybe also, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jackie, if it goes out into the world through AI and the data you put up, if it is being mixed in with the data of, or with ChatGPT, for example, or so. As far as, I mean, maybe you can answer that still, or we can wait for Jackie if
yeah.
that's what you meant.
So Jackie, Katrin's been very gentle about asking you a question about this. It's like, are we
Am I?
addressing?
I'm never gentle with Jackie.
No, you're being very gentle.
Jackie, can you just answer now? Okay. But oh, she did. Wow. That was magical. Both actually. I don't think I ever asked about Blend Pizza. I just assumed Beth would be safe. So I guess he is very safe. I mean, he's
I
not
won't
safe
shoot
to
you.
be around, but he's safe with Blend Precisely.
The
He can
last
become a
person,
grumpy old
the
man,
last
okay?
person that I bit was maybe like 5 years ago. I've stopped biting people.
No, you didn't. But Jackie, yeah, I think what she means both actually means more. The AI thing is creepy for me. I'm afraid to put my brain in there. I trust Seth fully. Well, your brain is already in there because you are a tool nerd. So but I think that is a justified question about AI. I think they know everything about us anyway already. And whatever you have to hide in your brain, you might not want to put into AI. But yeah.
Yeah. So the communication between us and the vector database is solid. There's no um, any other information that's coming from ChatGPT is adding to it from knowledge from the general language model, as they call it. That's
Yeah.
so. If you didn't know, basically what the ChatGPT and Anthropic and other services like this are doing is at some point they've gone out into the world and gobbled up the universe and put it into their databases and compiled it and run some special AI tooling to put it in a way that you can just type into a window and ask information. There have been legal challenges to them gobbling up the universe, and there's a lot of interest in making sure that nobody loses their data. There will be companies in the tech sector, and basically what they do is they essentially have their own version of it behind a firewall that nobody can access, only internal to the company. Um,
Mm.
so there are proprietary concerns for that, but for the group of people that we work with here, that is so not I cannot imagine a scenario where your data would be leaked to ChatGPT in this flow. Um,
Hence
so
the spinning wheel that it takes a little bit longer to receive.
yeah,
But
but I will tell you this. I will take that point and I will go research it more fully. And if I see anything, I'll make it clear and known, and then you'll be able to judge whether you want to use it or not. But I think it's a very valid question.
mhm. Yeah, so I think we should end this one, and it's in 35 minutes. But anyway, so definitely wanted to talk about it, and we will be talking about it more. We will also make ourselves more available because we have had questions in general, what we think about AI and the environment, AI and is it safe, and how can we use it in a small business, and so on. So in general, my opinion is if you don't jump on it, it's going to be very difficult to survive as a business because people will be moving forward very, very, very fast. And you should start embracing it. Does it have environmental impact like everything else? There's a new big change. They need to find new solutions similar to, electric cars, to the internet, to anything that is being introduced basically to the world. We need to find new ways of, I guess, buffering it and coming up with new solutions. I also don't believe AI is going to take away jobs. It's going to give opportunities to other jobs, new people. It's definitely going to be extremely helpful for a solo entrepreneur and small business. And if you want to succeed in the business world, people are moving faster than you will if you don't implement it. And that's going to be dangerous for any kind of business to not adapt. So being worried, being too shy of using AI, I think is at this point not necessary anymore and shouldn't be there.
I agree.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know if you have any questions. Come to our Indie AI Business Hub. As usual, it's available. It's still today for the last day going to be $9 per month. That's going to change by the end of the day. We are going to set the price to $29 a month. And that is just because a massive amount of work goes into everything what we do, and we want to help, but we also need to survive. So we have been on the side of $9 a month for a very, very long time, but we do with everything that is in today's world happening, we do also need to increase the prices a little bit somewhere, somehow. So if you're watching this still before the day ends, come on over. I just put the link into the chat and join us. If not, that's okay too. That's your choice. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And I guess we'll see you next week or sooner.
See you next week.
Bye bye, everyone. Ciao.
Bye.